Hello and welcome to Newsworthy Stories with Jacqueline Jimenez. We have a big treat for you today. If this is the first time you've been a part of this show, I'm a television and social media news coverage consultant and author of How to Get Television News Coverage. It's easier than you might think. And what I do is I teach businesses and organizations how to identify news stories in their business or organization and then help them get local or national news coverage as well as produce news stories for their social media sites. Now, we're going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to introduce you to the beloved South Beach Wine and Food Festival. It is known for drawing the attention of celebrities, restaurants, chefs, and more from all over. Joining us now to talk more about the festival and what this festival is going to mean to and impact this community is the esteemed Miss Lisa Davis. Lisa, thank you so much for joining us.
You know what, Jacqueline? Thank you for having me.
Tell us more. What are we going to see at this food festival and when is it?
Well, first of all, the food festival starts February 24th through the 27th. What you're going to see is over 400 plus, not only chefs, but wineries, different events that they're having at the Food and Wine Festival. You're going to see so much chef competition, the Burger Bash. We're going to talk about Goya. There is so much going on at this great festival.
Now, there are so many. I went through the website, and I will tell you that while we're talking about the South Beach Wine and Food Festival, go ahead and take a look at the website, and you'll see it up there at the bottom of the screen. And you can just go to www.sobefwff.org. So again, it'll just keep scrolling along the bottom of the screen, and you'll also see it in the chat. You'll see the website in the chat, and you can kind of follow along with us as we're talking about these great events that are coming up. So I do know that the Miss Rachel Ray will be at this food festival. And you were talking about the Burger Bash. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's going on at this Burger Bash?
Well, can I tell you how it kind of got started as far as that? And what they did, they actually had a phone call. Sobe and the National Black Journalists, they had a phone call about the Burger Bash. And that's kind of how it got started because they didn't have much diversity there. So they did listen. And now we have about 6 judges of diversity. I'll say it like that. We have Red Ron. We have Al Roker. We have Dwayne Wade. We have Miss Melba, who's a great chef. We have judges of diversity. And I am so glad that conversation kind of started it all for us.
Now, who started the conversation?
It was actually the National Black Journalists. They started the conversation, and they got Sobe on the phone, and they began to talk. And that's kind of how it got started as far as because they didn't have enough judges of color. So now we have more than enough. If you look at it now, we have more than enough judges of color. So I'm super proud about that.
Now, is it just judges or are there still room for, chefs or other attendees who want to be a part of this festival? Are there still room for, diversity along those lines?
Well, I say this, it's not only chefs, but it's the media, it's talent. It has opened up for all of us. There's room for all of us to be a part of it. I'm truly excited about that part, that it opened for us, that every recommendation that I gave to the team, they accepted it. So I was super excited about that. Super excited.
Now, why was it important? I mean, from the outside, it's clear, you want diversity, on the judging team, but what difference is going to be made by having these different judges on the panel?
Well, I think it's important for our community and people of color that our presence is there, that we have talents, We have everything else that's important to the festival, and we can bring that as well. It's important that our presence is there, that we support what the festival is doing, that we bring us on board. And when I say us, I mean people of color, whether it's Black, Hispanic. It's important to bring all of us on board because, as you know, Miami is a melting pot.
Yes, it
So we
is.
have to make sure that we're a part of what the community is doing and what South Beach is doing.
Well, South Beach alone is one of the most diverse places in the world. Coming as a military brat and living overseas and back and forth, to the United States. When
Mm-hmm.
I first moved to South Florida, I lived in Miami. And
Okay.
it was the one place I felt at home because
Mm.
there were so many different nationalities there and so many different people represented.
Right.
And I was actually used to living in countries where I didn't, speak the language. So it was unique because I remember one of the first things that I didn't understand. And if you're from South Florida and you're a person of color, especially an African American in particular,
Yes.
uh, if you're in South Florida, people, when they ask you where you're from, they don't mean what state you're from. They mean what country you're from. And I used to be like, what is that? But it's just the diversity. There's so many Black Cubans, there's Black Hispanics, there are
Yes.
Black, people from all over, from the Caribbean. And, but if you didn't, until you spoke to them, you didn't realize they were
Right.
from, these different countries until you heard their accents. So, that kind of gives you the flavor of not only judges, but, some of the restaurants that you would expect to see at this event. Now, South Beach Wine and Food Festival has just drawn the attention of so many people. I mean, you're going to have some of the great, the most well known chefs around. Like Guy Fieri. People are used to
Yes.
seeing him there. But if you go on this website, I mean, I saw bread making. My mouth was watering. I want to learn how to bread make. But they have master classes. Can you tell us more about you know what kind of impact this is going to bring, but mostly who is this going to benefit in the end? Because you can't just walk up. All these events are not free. This is not a one place event.
Yeah, right.
So can you talk to us about the different venues that people need to go to, but also some of the family fun events that we'll see?
Well, I want to bring up some of the chefs because it's important that the local chefs, when I'm saying that, and we have Deborah Williams, who she's an everyday baker. She'll be a part of the 21st birthday party they're having. We have Chef Teach, House of Mac. We have Mr. Bryant, Chef Bryant, who is from Little Greenhouse. We have Chef Green from Dunkin' News. Those are just some of the people. We have Chef Irie. And that's important and exciting for us to have those chefs and to go to where they're going to be. I had a lot of phone calls asking me what part or where were they going to be so that I can buy tickets there. So that's so important that our chefs are there. We can recognize our chefs. We may see them in the grocery store. We may see them in church. And that's good to have that familiar face. So when you see Chef Ari or when you see Chef Deborah, yeah, I know Chef Deborah. She was at the South Beach Wine and Food. So that's so important. And I just think it's very, very important. And I'm so glad for FIU because to this date, the Miami Beach Food and Wine has made over $31.8 million. And the best part is that money goes to the students at FIU, to the school. And really, the most important thing that I love about it is that we have Hispanics, Blacks, they graduate from the School of Tourism and Hospitality. So I'm excited about that part. Whereas they come out of school and then they can be one day be a Rachel Ray or one day be a celebrity chef, I call them. That's the most important part to do. We have to look out for our kids, and our kids are the future, and they're going to be here. So we want to make sure that our kids are set and that they have great examples and mentors. And it was important to me to make sure that our kids were a part of this. We're actually working with Miami Norland Senior High, my alumni. We're working with them, trying to get some of the kids to come aboard. We're working, giving tickets to Miami Northwestern, Miami Central, Carroll City. All of them are going to get free tickets to the event so that they'll
That's
have the
awesome.
opportunity to come in and see what these celebrity chefs and the local chefs are doing.
That
So,
is amazing.
yes,
That to me, sends a message because, the Black journalists, when they went to the South Beach Wine and Food Festival, the South Beach Wine and Food Festival did not have to respond in the way that they did. They could have said, you know what, we're fine, maybe next year, or, we'll look at that or we'll discuss it. But they actually did something about it. And
right,
I really find that, you are the, DEI coordinator or director for the South Beach, Wine and Food Festival. And that difference, we're showing this is an example as opposed to, they could have done anything they wanted to, but they
right,
actually took that constructive criticism and ran with it. They said, sure. Sometimes it just takes, someone saying something or something they didn't even recognize there. When you're putting on a festival, all you're really worried about is getting those celebrity chefs there, getting those people, well-known people out there,
right,
getting those big names out there all the time. And so this is this was a good way to bring in the local chefs and to bring
yes,
in those schools and to let people see that, hey, this is a career path for me.
yes.
Not just, especially if you're a really good cook, that's a great idea, a great thing to do, I think.
I think so too. And what I like about the festival is that we now have over 30 diverse chefs that are going to be a part of it. And we have our Black judges as well, which is Al Roker, Dwayne Wade, Rev Run, who I love. And then we have a local judge, and I got to say her name, which is Miss Jill Tracy from Hot
Oh,
105.
Jill Tracy, she's been around
Yes,
for a while.
yes, yes. So she
Okay.
has been talking about it nonstop. If you listen to her show, she's talking about the South Beach wine and food. So
Absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
it's great. I think for the opportunity is great. We have done a lot of work trying to get everybody on board, and again, every
Looks like her feed froze up just a little bit. I'll try to give you a second. We're talking about, there you go. You came back to us, Lisa.
okay.
Keep
I don't know
going.
what you heard, but
Well, you can start it again, whatever
well,
the
like
point
I
you're
was saying with
making.
Jill she's been talking about it nonstop. It's been on Hot Talk. Rodney has been talking about it. Hot 105, 99 Jams. They're all super super excited about the event. Uh,
I
and
do want to
we're also
mention the Goya Foods Family Fun Fest. A lot of these events, you'll find that there's a big ticket item. I mean, you're going to get some of the best food that you can eat, anywhere.
right.
But there's also a place for some of us have these kids at home.
I'm
I know I
glad that you
do.
mentioned that because that's where a lot of our kids are going. Allendale, and our kids will be there. It's family friendly, it's family fun. And a lot of our kids will be volunteering, helping the celebrity chefs and the local chefs so that they'll get the experience on what they can do as they continue to grow. They may want to go to FIU or wherever they want to go. They can at least say they have that life experience as to when they went to the fair, they helped out Chef Rachel. So that's a good part for our kids because I think it's important that we teach them while they're young that this is a lane or a place where you can go and be successful.
So again, if you want to learn more about the South Beach Wine and Food Festival, you can go to www.sobewff.org. and you can buy your tickets and find out all about all the different events. Remember, this festival is not in one place. So you have to kind of go and choose, which places you want to go to. And I'm sure there's package deals as to, how to get to one place to the other. So go online, www.sobewff.org. Is there anything else you want to add before we go, Lisa?
What I need to add is February 24th through the 27th. Get your tickets. Support the celebrity chefs as well as the local chefs. Go on the website, look at where your chefs are, and support. We want to sell out at this event. We want to just sell out. We want our those that come there. We want our community to come and have a great time. We want our kids to have their learning experience. And I just appreciate you, Miss Jacqueline, for inviting me to come and talk about the South Beach wine and food. I appreciate that so much.
It is my pleasure. I'm looking forward to this event, hope to get down there myself. So I encourage you, again, go on that website, check it out, and see what events you might be interested in. See who's coming to town. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you, too.
Now, coming up, I want to tell you about a couple of weeks ago, I introduced you to branding expert Lisa Pringle Evans. One of the things I want you to look for on my feed is she has an update on the Womanomics Level Up course. Why I think this particular course is so important to you is because we go hand in hand. Personal branding goes hand in hand with what I do at Newsworthy Stories, and that is take your personal brand through the media to help you become a leader in the community, a leader in the state, a leader in the nation. And so I know there's only a few days left to register for that. So look in the chat for that Womanomics Level Up course link. Also, next week, many people during the pandemic decided to care for their loved ones at home, but they don't really have any relief. And so I'm going to tell you about an organization that has now received a grant to offer that relief to your family. And I know for some of you, you need that yesterday. So thank you so much for joining me today on Newsworthy Story with Jacqueline Jimenez. See you next week, Tuesday at 12:30. Thanks so much.